Hi, I'm your host this evening, David Lee, and this is the Ultimate Astro Cafe, being the last Astro Cafe. And we've got a number of people presenting tonight. We have Natasha, who's going to tell us a little bit about the Parker Solar Probe. And I'm sure if Bill is here, he's going to entice us to come out to the Beaveree this Saturday. David's going to tell us about astrophotography SIG, and he's got a picture. And Lauri, you're going to tell us some things that are happening on the Hill.
Hmm.
So let's see where we can start. Natasha, are you here already? Yeah, I see Natasha there. Natasha, are you ready to do your Parker solar probe?
My headset. Right. Okie dokie. Right. Can you see that?
I don't yet. Let me just see if I've enabled. Actually, is
Oh, I
somebody
have to
there
share.
at
Yeah.
Fairfield that has enabled sharing?
Right. That's the problem. Share. Okay.
Ah, there we go.
There we go.
Yep,
All
carry
right.
on.
Okay. So we have our wonderful little creature, Parker Solar Probe. He's still going round and around the sun. Um, I don't know how much longer the mission will be funded for. Maybe Chris knows something more about that. But there have been a couple of new developments just in the past month, so I wanted to bring you up to date. There's the little, can you see the little thing where my cursor is? That is the visualization,
Yes.
but there it is. And just a reminder, quite a while ago, I shared with you my Wix site about the solar wind. And so that was probably what, 2 or 3 years ago. So what's new now is it's completed its 27th close approach to the sun, and many times it's flown to within about almost 4 million miles, or just over 6 million kilometers of the solar surface. So closer than any human-made object in history. And this is a little bit, this is going to be a very short presentation, but the new discoveries about solar explosions and magnetic reconnection. So one of the biggest recent science announcements came just last month when Parker Solar Probe observations revealed what they call surprising new behavior in solar eruptions caused by magnetic reconnection. So the process that powers solar storms. So the scientists found that protons and heavier ions were accelerated differently during one event, challenging existing theories about how solar storms form and evolve. Excuse me, I'll put that link into the chat later. So there was a lot of excitement about these switchbacks, and they found this, what they call a chaotic environment full of sudden magnetic flips called switchbacks. So they're like giant kinks or folds or whip cracks in the sun's magnetic field. So imagine standing in a hurricane where the wind suddenly reverses direction for a moment. That's somewhat similar to what Parker detected. So as I said, there's sudden reversals or zigzags in the magnetic field of the solar wind, where the magnetic field lines bend back on themselves and they cause the solar wind to momentarily speed up and double back. Um, they also found that several particles in the solar explosions accelerate differently, challenging previous theories. And that matters because a better understanding of these eruptions could eventually improve space weather forecasting, much like meteorology improved weather forecasting on Earth. So a few new insights, evidence that the solar wind continues accelerating farther from the sun than previously believed, and the strong evidence that these mysterious magnetic switchbacks in the solar wind behave in more complex ways than standard models predicted. So in closing, I asked my friend at GPT if it would consider creating a little poem in the style of Shakespeare about our friend Parker Solar Probe. And this is what it came back with instantaneously, of course, within 2 seconds. I'll just read it. Upon the sun's most fierce and burning throne, there flies a craft by mortal wisdom wrought, a pilgrim bold through tempests yet unknown, by daring minds and patient labors sought. O fiery star, whose breath would kingdoms sear, whose golden wrath no common wing may brave. Yet still this little messenger draws near and skims the edge of thy infernal wave. Like Icarus, yet wiser in its flight, it falls not broken from the heavens above, for guarded well by art, by steel, by light, it seeks the secret heart of solar love.
Hmm.
So there you have it.
Nice. Right.
Wow.
Thanks, Natasha. Any
Yeah.
questions for Natasha? Natasha, I have one quick question. The Parker probe has it been progressively getting closer and closer to the sun?
Well, it's still pretty far away, relatively speaking, but I think it is gradually. I think it's to Chris can elaborate, but I think it's getting towards the end of its mission. At least, apparently, NASA might be stopping funding for it fairly soon.
Oh,
But
okay.
I mean, if you compare, I think the first analogy I made is that if you imagine that the Earth and the Sun are a meter, then Parker Solar Probe is within just a few centimeters of the Sun. It's just
Wow.
phenomenal, yeah.
And it still
Okay.
hasn't burned up.
No, how it
Okay.
does that, I have no idea, but it's to me, it's magic.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Well, thank you. Um, so before we move on, I just realized I have something from a couple of days ago, a couple of nights ago. I was waffling about
Is-
whether or not to. Oh, Lauri, yes.
Sorry, David, maybe if Chris has got some feedback on that,
Oh, does
this
he?
might be the good time. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
I'm just saying, Chris, if you
Chris,
have some feedback.
yeah, Chris, do you
Um,
have something?
I I I don't know in any great detail. Um, I think the Parker is kind of in an orbit that brings it, close to the sun every few months or so. Um, I actually think it reached its has already reached its closest planned passage by the sun a year or two ago, but it's still coming in close. And uh, yeah, uh, and I think it's going to continue for some time. Uh, yes, there is this threat, the going on in Washington, which is that the Office of Management and Budget in the White House is always talking about massive cuts to science, and then Congress restores most of those cuts. So um, I take some of that with a grain of salt. Actually, um, I have a couple of things to talk about, but very briefly. I can do that a little later on if you wish.
It doesn't matter. I mean, if you're ready to go, you can go ahead, Chris.
Okay. Uh, let me see. Just let me find the share.
And what's the topic, Chris?
Uh, it's uh, it's Starship mainly. Okay. Where is it now? Um, okay. I've just updated my computer, and the sharing is very strange here. What's going on? It's not showing me what's on my screen. It's showing me whiteboard, docs, or notes. Does anybody know what that's all about?
Hmm.
Or
I
now it's
don't know.
advanced? No.
Are you in the share mode already, Chris? You're
No,
not in
I
share.
haven't hit share yet.
Okay.
Let's see
I
what
mean, if you could pick your desktop and then share that, we might end up seeing what you want us to see anyways.
Okay. Allow Zoom. This is really weird. Okay, here we go. Do you see that?
Not yet.
Nothing. If you don't see nothing, you don't know what's going
Okay.
on.
Okay, just a minute here. No?
Oh, I forgot to ask. Is there anybody new here tonight? Probably not. Okay. How are we doing, Chris?
Uh, like this is really weird. I don't understand what's going on. So,
Oh, I saw something.
I don't know what that is. Someone else is sharing.
Oh, that's not me either. I wonder who that is. That is RAS Victoria's screen. Somebody just shared from RAS Victoria.
Having some technical difficulties here.
Okay. Yeah, the RAS Victoria screen is being shared at this moment.
Now
Somebody
it tells me that one's drive isn't signed in or something.
that
Well,
I
why
think
don't
that's coming from them, I think. That's not coming from you, Chris.
Yeah, okay.
It's
So
their
why don't we
share.
let them do their thing and
Oh, no, they just popped out. You can try again.
okay. So here's share. And why is it doing this? I really don't understand what it's doing.
That doesn't work.
Okay, now it's sort of flicking me around. Allow to share screen. It brings up. So you don't see anything here. You don't see my
I see nothing at this moment.
okay. Why don't you forget about me for a while? And I'm just
Okay. Well, we'll come back to you, Chris.
this is
Um,
really
I,
strange. It's really making me angry too.
oh, okay. Okay. So as I was about to say, a couple of nights ago, I popped out and went looking for the Lunar X and V, and I just wanted to show you this. Did anybody go out to see it? So there it is.
We don't see
I what's that?
We don't see it because one monitor is not working.
Oh, okay. Does everybody else in the audience see the share?
Yeah, we're seeing it okay.
Yep.
Go ahead.
All right, okay, that's great. So, anyways, I did pop out. I almost thought I wouldn't go out, but I did anyways, and found the V. I saw that first actually, and then I found the X. So this is just taken with my phone, and I was very ill prepared, but anyways, I saw it. Did anybody else see it? I know I encouraged a lot of people to go out and see it. Oh, somebody's waving in the background. Who's that?
Brenda.
Brenda?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
Excellent.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
Yeah, so it was around 10 o'clock when I saw this. I think the peak of the visual was sometime in the afternoon. I think it was like 4 o'clock. So this is well past. This is like 6 hours past the peak. And I did notice the X was coming. Brenda, was the X coming in and out for you? Like, was it not purely static?
Yeah, it wasn't as good as pictures I've seen of it,
Yeah.
but there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way I found it. And this one was actually coming in and out. Like it was kind of like the seeing wasn't perfect, and sometimes the X was very, very prominent and visible, and sometimes it wasn't. But the
Yeah.
V was definitely quite visible. So that's my little reflection on the lunar X and V. Okay, let's see who else is available. Dave Payne, did you want to go next? Oh,
Well,
Dave
Sure,
is
if you like.
yeah, go ahead.
If no one else was here.
Let me get everything. Oh,
Thanks for joining, Alex.
No, David, you have a image to show us. Is that true?
yes. So I'll get that done first.
You try.
There we go. So this, is that coming through?
Yep.
See it.
Not,
I see an email or something.
oh. Shouldn't see that.
I don't see an image, but I see email. Up there, I see an image. You're in Pixel site
Okay.
now.
Okie doke. This is the Iris Nebula in
Hmm.
Cygnus. It's just coming up in the sky now. And I know this because I photographed this in June of last year. So I'm still marching through all the images I took last year trying to get, but with the weather, there hasn't been too many nights for good photography this year yet. But I don't know how I'm showing it now on a monitor that's not color calibrated, so I don't know if the colors are muted.
No, they seem pretty good on my monitor. I
Okay.
can see them pretty good. The black is quite black, and
That's the right setting.
the dark areas are kind of purpley black, which I
Okay.
would expect to be.
It's blank.
So there's three players in this. There's three main players. There's a dark
be-
molecular cloud
That's
that's
number 2.
that's sitting in a sea of neutral atomic hydrogen. And the cloud you can see, because the neutral atomic hydrogen is mainly transparent, you can see all the stars in the background, except where the dust in the molecular cloud blocks the background. And you can tell the density of the gas and the density of the dust by how thick it is and how much you can see through it. And in places, it blocks all the light from behind it. And a star, not a big star, not a big star enough to create a stellar nursery, but a fairly large star has entered into the cloud and it's created this blue reflection nebula that's kind of reminiscent of an iris, and so it's called the Iris Nebula. But I really concentrated on getting the detail on this is with my 6-inch refractor, and
Thank you.
I got a fair amount of detail on it. And what you can see in the middle is you can actually see some hydrogen alpha signal, which means we're ionizing,
Bring that
we're
over.
breaking up molecules and ionizing them, and that's giving this red shape. And there's a hole in the molecular cloud so we can see through it, but it's kind of I like this one mainly because it's aesthetically kind of aesthetically appealing there.
Yeah,
Nice
this is
job.
yeah, this Dave, it's
Really nice.
it as you zoomed in, I can tell there's a lot more detail than I normally would see in this image. I mean, that's quite very nice
Yeah,
inside, right?
yeah, you can see a lot of the eddies and the
Yeah,
structures formed by there's the other player is the ionized winds that are coming off of this star, which is kind of blowing a little bit of a bubble inside the cloud.
yeah,
But it isn't a what is it, O or N class. It's not one of these super giant stars, or it would
yeah,
really blow the cloud apart. But it's a fairly substantial one.
yeah. And you managed to get a really nice star field in it at the same time.
Yeah. And that's how you spot a lot of these molecular clouds is the fact not that you're looking at them, but the fact that they're blocking the light from the stars behind them.
Hmm. What kind of exposures is this, Dave?
This was over 4 summer nights, so maybe 12-ish hours total exposure. And I just used I really tried to make it as natural as possible, so the colors were calibrated and it's LRGB, so the same things our cones perceive.
Hmm. For an object like this, you would normally do that anyways, wouldn't you, Dave? Or
For a reflection or a dark nebula, yeah, you'd normally go that. Sometimes you can add hydrogen alpha if you want to look, um, see where that's glowing, and it does turn this iris a bit of a shade of purple when you do include that. But that's not how you would perceive it with your eyes because you're boosting that hydrogen alpha signal.
Hmm.
But and the other thing I like to announce is the Astrophotography SIG is meeting this Wednesday, and hopefully we'll be looking at recent images by members, and hopefully we'll be gathering our coma cluster data. So anxious to see what we got. So
great, that's excellent. Thanks, David.
thank you.
Um, Bill, are you here? Oh, there, I see you. Bill, did you want to say anything about this weekend?
Yeah, I do. I'm just hoping to maybe well, to those who said they would, guys, I couldn't remember who because I was thinking about the other thing in Banfield, and then I've been running around. I just sort of got home from being in the Okanagan. So this Saturday, it's technically from 10 until 3. People are usually out of there, but like us closing up by about 1:30 because there's other things going on with the event. But it's going out there with some solar gear and just setting up and promoting the RASC as a hobby thing and having fun with young people and their parents. So it's always, I always look at it as that this is something, because it was sort of around the parents' age that I started getting into doing astronomy. And so it's opening up as a potential hobby for them with themselves or their kids. And, you know, lots of people that do the hobby remember that first time in their youth when they saw that something through a telescope. And I'm still always shocked at the people that I show the sun, and they're just amazed that you can actually look at the sun because they've always been told you can't look at the sun. And so you can teach them that. So if anybody wants to come out, you can contact me through the email or just show up at Camp Bernard off of Otter Point Road and then Young Lake Road sometime in the early morning. I'm going to get there early so I can unpack stuff. And when you get there, just tell them you have gear to unload, and then we'll figure a place for you to park on the field at the perimeter, because there's always little places you can tuck a car in instead of having to walk a great deal of distance. And it's a lot of fun.
So as a
pack a
reminder,
lunch.
yeah, as a reminder, no equipment required, right? Because you're supplying it.
I'm supplying most of the equipment. I've got a couple of solar, like white light filter scopes. I've got a scope that'll have a sun funnel on. I've got the big Coronado from Pearson that I've got the mount working on, so I've got that all figured out. And then I have my little PST. I know somewhere out there might be a scope, one of the solar scopes from the club, but I don't know where they are. So
I think Chris Purse has them all now.
we can all make it work with what we have.
Okay. Sounds good.
And I've got some swag we could give away if people really want it.
Sounds good. I think we could probably go to Lauri, actually. Oh,
wait,
go ahead,
Lauri.
Bill.
One more thing. Is the banner up at the CU? The RAC banner?
Yes, there's one up at this. Would you like me to bring it?
Are you coming out?
I think so.
Okay, then it would be great because we can stretch it across the tent.
Okay.
So if you're not exhausted your desire for public outreach, what happens later in the evening, Lauri?
Yes. So once we get home from Stooke, there is a star party up at the center on a Saturday night, and I think the weather is improving, if I'm correct. I think it's not horrible for Saturdays, as far as I know. So please come up. And you can bring telescopes and put them on the deck or on the up in the parking lot and show everybody what there is. We were up on Friday night for a special fundraiser night, and the moon was absolutely glorious. It was just gorgeous. And we had a couple of the Dobbs up and showing people just in the Dobbs, and it was just marvelous. So hopefully people will help us. We also need people for the welcome table. I always say this, everybody hears me saying the same thing all the time, but it's really important to have people come up. And if you've not done it before, just let us know, and we'll have somebody up that can mentor you to kind of go through. It's actually really nice when there's two people up at the table, because then it gives a little bit of some camaraderie as well, to have that. So that would be great. Thank you. And then the other thing is I do want to also and announce this movie that is being launched on June the 21st, Solstice Day, at the Star Cinema in Sydney. And the showing is going to be we have the time in the Sydney at the Star Cinema from 4 to 6. So there'll be a little bit of an introduction, and then there'll be the movie. It's an hour and 10 minutes, I believe, an hour and 15 minutes. And this is called Physics for Poets. And it is done by a filmmaker from Edmonton. Her name is Gina Payzant, and her husband was quite a well-known person in the Edmonton Center, and was an RASC member for a number of years. He passed away a few years ago now, and left a little bit of a legacy. And Gina, in her as a director of film, has decided to use some of that in order to make this film about Galileo's last couple of nights. So the whole thing is about him, and how he's in house arrest at the time, and his recollections, and how he is talking a little bit about like what's the changes in science over the time in the century that he was in 400 years ago. And there's a little bit of there's lots of history, there's science, and then there's also some philosophical undertakings of this. So we hope everybody will come out. It is a private function for only RASC members and Friends of the DAO members. The movies in British Columbia have to be rated by a specific organization before they can be put out to the public. Because it takes a little while in order for the ratings to come, this first launch, because this is going to be the launch of the movie, is going to be strictly a membership only affair. The tickets are free. We would obviously ask for a donation, and the donations will be half for the FDAO and half for the RASC. And at the end of the launch, then Gina is going to be giving both organizations the rights and copyright to the movie. So it will be ours then to do whatever we would like to have with it, which means we can be having a movie night where we actually, maybe make a little bit of money on asking people to come out to for tickets. We can do whatever we'd like with it, with the movie once we have the rights and the rating for the movie. So Gina is being very generous in giving this to us, and then we can have it in perpetuity. So I'm hoping that people will be coming out on June the 21st at the Star Cinema. There's room for about 100 people to come at that time. We're I think in the middle theater. I think that's where we're going to be. So hopefully you can come out. And Peter, another time we'll see if we can get this out, and we can put this out to like as an RASC movie night for people across Canada, for instance, or something like that. We can try that.
Star Cinema?
The Star Cinema is on 3rd Avenue in Sydney, just between just like half a block off of Beacon Avenue. There's parking around the edges.
Is it just up from Tanner's, Lauri, or is it on another street?
Yeah. Tanner's is, I believe, on 2nd. Oh, no, sorry, on 4th.
It's at 4th.
And 4th. So it's the next one. It's the next one down. Yeah.
So details will be on the FDAO website?
Yes. The tickets will be coming out. Amy Rawson is putting out the call for tickets. And as soon as she does that, and we have the whole thing for the FDAO, then I'm going to be sending that via the Sky News. I believe am I right in that's the best way to send out to all members? Or is there another membership list that I should be sending to all members? Does anybody know that?
Sky News is the one to use.
Okay, thanks, Joe. And I'll be sending it to Sky News. It will kind of say, get tickets here, and you press the button, and it will take you to the site that the FDAO uses in order for all of the registration for things. But it will all be there.
Will the site also take donations as well?
Yes, yeah, you'll be able to donate. You'll be able to donate just at that time. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Sounds good.
And there'll be a question and answer period after it for people who would like to ask questions about how it was made, or some of the work behind. I guess if anybody was at when Nick Versteeg did the Northern Star documentary, he had and Chris, you were there for sure. Is having a little bit of a question and answer period as well to talk about the movie at that time. So this is the official launch. It has been actually shown in Edmonton at the planetarium, or the Science Center there, but it was a pre-launch program that in fact they've done a little bit of some tweaking of the movie since that launch. So this is the official one that we are doing this time. So bring your friends, bring your family, and let's do that. So.
They won't be placed under house arrest if they're not members.
Oh shoot. Right. Dave, I'm gonna have you're right. Yeah. Okay. Don't bring friends and family. Oh dear. After I've said that, there is a kind of a copyright law of some kind or something. Sorry, Dave. So come all of you. Yes.
E.g. RASC,
I will check
E.g.
with that. I will
members.
check with that. Yeah, I will check.
Will the popcorn machine be going?
Oh, the popcorn machine will be definitely going. Yes, it will be. Yes, yeah, for sure.
What time is it? What time?
It is from 4 to 6 p.m.
Oh, nice.
So in the later afternoon. So
And the
but remember,
Q&A,
it's the longest day of the year, so it's it's still really light. So no problem.
So the Q&A will be right at the theater as well then, right?
Yes, it will be right at the theater. That's right. Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Lauri, you mentioned at the beginning you included a reference to poetry.
Yes, the movie is called Physics for Poets.
Oh, so thank you.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. Okay, do you know what? I'll see if I can put the link in that people can go and see a trailer for it, and you can have a look at the trailer to see what's going on. And as one little tiny piece of information is that in the background of a couple of the scenes, I believe there are some people from the Edmonton RASC Center that are in the movie, that are kind of extras in the movie. So so that's kind of part of it. All right, thank you.
Are they dressed in period costume?
But I would imagine so, yes, because they would have to be dressed in period costumes. Yes, but I don't know. I don't know whether Alistair Ling is one of them or not. I'm not sure. So
Nice.
we'll see. Anyway, yeah. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks, Lauri. Now, I have something from Randy that says that Vince has some stuff to show from the VCO. But just before we do that, Reg, Reg, is that you in the distance there?
I believe so.
You believe so? You don't know? Okay. So yeah, I mean the VCO is open and available for business for both kind of visual use and even imaging wise, we seem to be kind of back on track since our host of problems, but we seem to be okay. And as a demonstration of that, I think Vince, you have some stuff to show from our little short foray into reestablishing imaging. What would you like me to show first?
Maybe show the M51 because that one's quite stunning.
All right, so let me do a share first.
Unfortunately, converting it to JPEG didn't do it any favors, but
there we go. Do you want to talk a little bit about it? Or?
Yeah, so that of course is M51. That's taken with our very own scope at the VCO. You'll notice a very distinct lack of dust motes, and that's because I spent some time to figure out a process to do flats. Built a flat board for it, which involved getting a piece of press board and painting it flat white, and then finding a way to mount it on the wall. And look back illuminated with a panel. So now we can actually do flats on the big scope.
Oh, nice.
And then we also in the process of doing that, figured out a problem that we've been having with the camera for some time and maybe not realizing it, which is the strange dark eye shape in the middle of the frame, which I didn't actually take a picture of, but that was a moisture problem that I think we are on top of it. I believe I haven't checked the camera lately.
Yeah, I mean, next time we're out, like it's had a desiccant tube in it for, I don't know, more than 72 hours. I mean, it's been at least 4 or 5 days now. So I'm hoping it's sucking up all the moisture that's in the chamber. But we'll be able to tell when we fire up the software.
And there's another image there that I did especially for Randy. It's the moon image. And that was, I think, on the 18th, and that's also with the main scope.
Oh, nice.
So just that very, very thin crescent moon. So there's a few others in there. I don't know if there is one picture of Venus that I managed to get with the main scope as well.
Is that the snapshot or?
Should say Venus, but maybe it's just a snapshot. Yeah,
Oh, there it is.
a fuzzy dot.
Well,
That's about as good as we get. Yeah.
we know it's Venus though, so that's good.
Yeah. You can actually see it's like not exactly round. So we are actually
It's got a phase.
it has a phase. I officially captured the phase. And that's just I don't know, 10 minutes on sombrero that I grabbed. Um, um, yeah, just as one of the test targets. But mostly my main goal is the doing darks, getting the dark process figured out and getting the flatting process figured out.
No, that's good.
Yeah, that's just a M109, the vacuum cleaner galaxy, apparently is what it's called. But you can see it's got a nice bar structure in the middle. It's quite pretty.
Yeah, the other thing that's been happening, which you can't see, is that Vince has been doing basically EAA with the system. So I remember seeing this for the first time after the first frame, and this guy was barely visible, and
Yeah,
this guy down here was barely visible, but they're visible after some stacks that were
yeah,
done. So
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So for those of you who come up and are not particularly interested in imaging, but like to see things a little bit better than their eyes can do, that's a potential solution.
Yeah, yeah, that's why I like EAA. It's almost like getting to unwrap your presents before Christmas.
Yeah, cool. All right. Okay, so let's see what else is around here. Chris, are you able to share now?
Well, let's see.
What experiment is it?
Um, no, uh, I don't think so.
Can you verbally tell us things?
Yes, I decided that's that's what I was going to do. If it was, I don't know, Zoom is just decided to be a pain in the neck. It wouldn't even let me restart the computer. I had to override it.
Oh, I,
So,
I think it's taking over.
yes. Okay, well, anyway, the main thing I wanted to talk about was the big Starship launch on Friday, which was uh, it's being hailed as a success, but it's actually just a partial success. Um, it's it's actually the largest rocket ever launched. It's a new version 3 of the Starship, so it's bigger than the previous 11 Starships that were launched. Um, and um, so it was kind of able to meet its objectives, but not fully. So it's a two stage rocket, and in previous versions, the bottom stage has been able to come back to the launch site, and it looks like a couple of the engines blew up shortly after uh, separation, and it just fell back to Earth. So that didn't work out very well.
So it didn't remain intact, eh?
Well, it actually did remain intact, but it just fell back to Earth. This is the first stage. A few months ago, they were having problems with the upper stage, and the upper stage, one of the engines on it, one of the main engines on it failed, but they were actually able to get it to its splashdown point in the Indian Ocean. Um, But because of that engine failure, it means that the next flight will not be the long-awaited attempt to just go right into orbit. They're going to have to do these kind of suborbital flights once again. And and that's a bit more of it's a bit beyond being just a matter of academic interest, because this Starship is supposed to be used to launch the basically lunar lander that Starship is hoping to have for Artemis. So the next Artemis flight, which is supposed to take place next year, is supposed to be a test of one or both of the competing lunar landers. This is a bit of a setback for that. We'll see how much of a setback. We'll see when the next Starship can fly. The competing thing is from whatchamacallit, Jeff Bezos's Blue Origin. He had a bit of a setback a few weeks ago with his New Glenn rocket. The second stage on that failed to get the payload into the proper orbit. It did get it into orbit, but not the right one. But they've actually been able to figure out what was wrong with that, and they've just got clearance from the FAA. So it's just the hopes of getting the hopes from the NASA of getting their own astronauts onto the moon before the end of 2028 are very tight, and it's these sort of events are not very helpful for that, shall we say. So
so the whole process is kind of slowing down, is it, Chris? Or
it is, but anyway, the planning for Artemis 3 is still moving ahead. We still don't have a crew yet. I wouldn't be surprised if we had one named this summer. But it's just going to put more pressure on the Starship for the next flight, which I've heard may happen in the summer. So,
is there any indication what causes the failures, or is it just quality control kind of thing? Or
well, in fairness to them, the engines are new. They have this is like a version 3 rocket, the first launch of the version 3 Starship. So it's bigger. And the engines are new, and the structures are a little different.
yeah, so they're not really extensively field tested yet.
That's right. And this is the field testing, but they just don't have a lot of margin to get everything going. And this flight did mark some progress over previous flights, but it's they have to do a little better if they want to meet the goal that NASA set to get footprints on the moon again.
Yeah, I guess in any endeavor like this, it's one thing to be able to do it maybe, or one thing to even do it once, but they have to be able to do it repeatedly, don't they?
That's right.
Chris, I have a question for you. If they're trying to beat the Chinese, shouldn't we be seeing the Chinese doing these things too?
Yes. Well, they were actually the Chinese things don't get much publicity.
So they may be trying and we just don't know, right?
They recently tested a rocket that they want to use for their lunar module, which is kind of and it was fairly successful. I mean, the interesting thing is that the lunar modules being proposed by NASA are actually much bigger than the ones that Neil and Buzz took, and the Chinese lunar module is a bit closer in size to an Apollo M. So so that's, you know, that's why they're being given a bit of an inside track. You know, so I guess you can't fault NASA for and SpaceX and Blue Origin for ambition, but anyway, that's just the way things are going.
So Chris, do you suspect that they might pull back on the spec, so to speak? Do you think they
Well, I
may try?
just think it's kind of too late in the game to
Oh, okay.
start doing major redesigns. I mean, when we were at this stage of Apollo, I could tell you who was making the lunar module and what it looked like and what it could do and not do. And in part because of the kind of the commercial secrecy, I can't do that with either one of these things, you know.
Hmm.
So
Michael, you have a question?
I haven't mentioned SpaceX's attempt to go public. It's a couple of $1 trillion, which is probably guiding some of this stuff. Not anything to do with the national ambitions of the United States.
well, yeah, that's right. They have gone public, but you know they've also folded in all the AI stuff that Elon Musk is doing, and even X, you know, the former Zoom is part of all this, you know. And so anyway, it's in terms of an investment, I think that complicates things, but you know, that's up to people who are interested in investing in that sort of thing. So anyway, we will see what happens.
Right, thanks, Chris. Well, I seem to have exhausted any scheduled stuff. Um, Anybody have any other topics for this evening, or what are people's plans for getting dark skies this summer? Anybody have plans? Oh, Reg is waving his hands.
Just a reminder, on July 4th, we have an event at Cattle Point. And
Oh, yes.
so a number of rascals assembled at Cattle Point at 10:30 a.m., pointed their telescopes towards Lopez Island and participated in the inaugural Transboundary Firework Festival. And we had a great time. So this has carried on every year since then. But the next year it was realization that it was Henrietta Swan Leavitt's 150th birthday on July 4th. So this prestigious event was being rebranded as Henrietta Leavitt Memorial Horizon Watch. And we've had 8 of these so far. So please come out to Cattle Point, and it's a fun event. That's for at 10:30 or between 10 and 10:30 p.m. On the 4th of July.
Oh, okay, thanks, Reg. And actually, that brings us to the topic of how we're going to communicate during the summer. I guess just stay tuned to your email. I plan to do maybe a number of Cattle Point pop-ups this summer, probably for specific events and maybe just for the heck of it. So, you know, the fact that we have some clear weather. And likewise for the VCO, right, Reg?
Yes, yeah. The people who are on the active observers list. The trouble is right now is that the nightfall is getting later and later, and we've had a couple of events with the gate time 10 p.m. and we have not been all overwhelmed by the multitude of attendees for some reason. At any rate, that will continue. I just want to also mention on July 4th, it's the 10th anniversary of the JUNO spacecraft going into orbit around the planet Jupiter. And I was planning to have a little bit on it, and I looked into it, and it's a great success story that warrants more attention. So maybe in the fall we'll have some more information about JUNO. The spacecraft was supposed to have stopped, or the program ended in September 2025, but that was occurred during the shutdown, the US government, and there's some ambiguity about that. And if you go to the Deep Space Network, you can still on occasion see some of the satellites picking up signals from JUNO. So it's still alive out there. It is not going to immediately go crash into the Jovian atmosphere. And the trajectory of it is such that it will not accidentally hit any of the main Jovian moons. So it's probably going to be quite a while before it's totally shut down.
Yeah, it refuses to go.
Can I just add something to that, Phil? Here, a lot of people will have seen the beautiful kind of multicolored images of the clouds of Jupiter that JUNO has been providing through an instrument called JUNO-CAM, and that has suffered a failure, so it's not operating at the moment. But the other instruments are, and there have been recent data sets from them, including images from some of the other instruments that do produce images. So I think in the fall we would have an opportunity to review what's going on in more detail.
It really has lasted a lot longer than they expected. Anticipated was 37 orbits, and it's had over 74 orbits so far. And the harsh radiation conditions probably have caused some of the degraded performance of some of that.
Amazing. Lauri, did you have a question?
Yes, I just wanted to just add a couple of extra little kind of announcements, I guess, is that I mean, to remind everybody of the star party, like on the big star party for us in
St.
August.
Stephen's.
I mean, if this is going to be our last time that we get together, then people just need to put that on their calendar, that it is I believe it's August the is it 8th? Is that correct?
7th to 9th, is it?
7th to 9th, okay. And so make sure that those dates are stay clean. We'll be out at St. Stephen Church off of West Saanich Road, and it's always kind of a fun time to be out there. So make sure that that's on your calendar. And then I do have one other thing that I wanted to ask. I've been invited to go to Main Island for a Parks Canada evening, a camping evening. They always like to put on at least one kind of astronomy night for their campers that are in the main campsite there for the families. So I said, sure, I come along, and it will be the following weekend. So I believe it'll be it'll be the 15th or so of August. And if you would, I would love to have one other person come with me. They will put us up. They pay for the ferry. They put us up in one of their homes for the evening on Friday on the Friday night. It's when we get there on Friday. It is the Friday evening that we have the program. Now there's no indoor part of this, so there's no projection or like projector or screen or anything else like that. So we'll be doing a little bit of a program, maybe with, I don't know, stuffies and all kinds of other things that we'll bring along with us to do things with kids, and then putting out some telescopes. Now I can take maybe one, possibly two telescopes, but it would be really nice if there was another person that could come along and bring maybe another telescope. Then we'd have a little bit more to have for the people there. So if you're interested, let me know, and we might be able to have a little RASC presence on Main Island. So that would be good. And then,
So Lauri, in
yes.
addition, I mean, they used to do more than one island. Are they gonna revitalize all the islands?
No, I've only been
Just
asked
Maine,
for
eh?
Main Island. It's only Maine that I've been asked for this year. So, and
Okay.
yeah, last year I was to go, and it absolutely just poured rain. And she called early and just said, "Nope, there's nobody here anyway. Nobody's camping, so don't come." So,
Okay.
because it was pouring rain. So hopefully we'll have better weather. And then, of course, the Saanich Fair is on from the 5th to the 7th in September, and we always need to have lots of people out for volunteers there.
Mhm.
So we will be calling you. Ha 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 ha. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, Lauri.
I don't know whether there's any other things that we've missed. Are there any other
Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
events
I
that
mean,
we've missed?
so we've got pop-ups, we've got well, eventually we're going to every week for the star parties, right? On the hill. So eventually it'll be like that. And again, if you feel you don't want to do it because you don't have equipment, don't feel that way because we have lots of equipment up on the hill. So
And
we
we're also going to try to get a binocular table, because we've now got some binoculars, and if we put out a binocular station and just help people looking through the binoculars at a few little things in the sky, and we'll just have that up. And maybe another time we'll just put out the daubs and have a little bit of a daub party of on just right off the deck, and just show people how to use the daubs, because that's it would be really nice to be able to get people to have hands-on, like because daubs are pretty easy and you can't wreck them too much. So that's we're going to try a few new things during the summertime. So we'd always can use your help. Absolutely. So thanks.
Well, that's actually a good segue. As many of you know, we've been sort of raiding Sid's garage over the last year, and there've been a number of Vince is waving his hand. There've been a number of us that have availed ourselves of this, and I just wondered if people would be willing to talk about some of the things that they've been working on. I know Vince has been working on things. I know CJ has. I've been kind of, but not really. Vince, can you tell us what you've been up to?
I was waving my hand to respond to Lauri that I'd be really interested in that. I have a 1-ton truck that can carry all the scopes. But what have I been working on? I have been trying to, so I got a CGE mount from Sid's estate that I have been rebuilding. I've managed to evict all the spiders from the mechanics and remove the corrosion from everything. The only thing I'm missing is the actual brains of the thing, which is the actual controller thing. I found a way around that. It's the absolutely the most psychotically convoluted system. So back when that mount was made, Celestron had kind of the electronic, the computer version of the hand controller that you could download and run on your computer and plug into it via serial, plug into the main motion control via serial. The problem is that only runs on Windows 7 32-bit. So I've had to come up with this unbelievably convoluted system where I've got VMware running a 32-bit Windows 7, which runs that software, which runs a virtual COM port, which then goes into Alpaca, exposes an Alpaca interface on a TCP port, and then from there I can actually talk to the thing via the device COM manager and control it. But I've been having a great time trying to get that thing going again.
Convolution for sure.
Oh yeah. So I'm really hoping that somebody finds that controller, because it'll make my life a lot easier.
Yeah, you know, I can't believe the number of times that VMware has kind of saved the day by resurrecting old OSs.
I'll tell you what, yeah. So yeah, if anybody's going through any of the stuff up at SIDS there, keep an eye open for a Celestron hand controller and some weights that've got a 2-inch hole. They'd be the only ones that have got a hole that big. Those are the only two things I'm missing.
Wow. And
A similar request, David.
Yes,
I have a similar request. John McDonald lent me, and I say lent me his 110 millimeter Williams Optics thing to use at my observatory for kids. The only problem is I don't have a mount for it. So I got one of Sid's mounts. It's called a Bresser mount. And it's an HE2 or an HE5, and it is also missing its hand controller, without which the silly thing doesn't run. So I really need, if you see a funny looking hand controller and it has a screen about the size of my hand with 8 lines on it, I really need that thing.
okay. Next time we're out, and I was actually talking to Lauri about that. I'm not sure if I have enough time to contact Michael to have another rendezvous out at Sid's garage, but maybe when I get back from vacation, I can probably do that. So it might have to wait a couple of weeks. Yeah, so I might have to wait a couple of weeks.
And a final comment about the C8s, the orange C8s. They're too lovely to throw away. I have one hiding in one of my closets now because I couldn't bear to see it go in the junk pile, but let's not let them go in. Let's get them used by somebody.
Well, you know, I'm really heartened by the number of people that have dusted off these scopes. I mean, granted, they're not all, worthy of being resurrected, but many are actually, and a lot of them are in pretty good shape actually, and they need to be used.
Yeah, we have at least 2 C8s left, and you plug it in and it tracks. What more could you want? So there you go.
Yeah. Hey, CJ, can you tell us about your Takahashi restoration?
Oh yeah, it's more putting back together all the scattered piece than a pure restoration. But I've been able to join the actual mount, an EM10, with the actual tube, an FC100 fluorite. And Garry has found the ring, the original ring. So now I have a fully functional Takahashi 100 on a Takahashi mount. And instead of having cardboard wine bottle box for the mount, I found a nice suitcase at Value Village for $10. A really nice black suitcase. So now,
nice.
I'm actually in the process of creating a shape molded foam for it.
Very nice.
So I'm gonna have that on a transportable. I'll be putting a handle on the big white crate, because the white crate only has a handle at each end, so it's a little bit awkward to move around. But I'm gonna have a handle like a suitcase. So yeah, I'm working on it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It's such a pleasure to bring these telescopes back to action because they were always meant to be used, and watching them catch dust is in a closet is kind of heartbreaking, actually, in a way, when they can be used.
Yeah, and Takahashi, I mean, it's the mechanic is just perfect. I mean, it's from 91. The mount, it's actually the first mount of 1990, and the tube is the third tube of 1991 with the serial number.
Wow.
Yeah, and yeah, they just. Well, let me see if I can send you a picture of it. I'm gonna maybe share a picture.
Yeah, it's amazing the quality of some of these. I mean, they're icons really in astronomy, right?
Yeah, and everything is still in perfect shape. It's really up. Let me see if I can. Yeah, and they even have a slight, even though it's an equatorial mount with no go-to, it has also a motor for both axes, and you can probably do comet tracking. You can actually have the speed to follow the stars, but you can also have the altitude, altaz. So probably could do comet tracking if you're really fine-tuning. So yeah, it's a really fascinating mount actually. So
Yeah, it's funny as we're moving towards smart telescopes. A lot of these things are being lost, right? I mean, we were definitely living in a generation of components, right? Like component stereos. We had component telescopes, right? We always had best of breed for all the different little pieces, and sometimes one manufacturer did it all, sometimes they didn't. But yeah, it was part of the fun of assembling things.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow,
Nice.
very nice. Look at that.
So yeah, so yeah, I even have the fitting for a cam for my camera on top, and yeah. So
And for those of you who are not familiar with older equipment, wooden legs was actually the preference, actually, not steel, because wood. This goes back to photography, but wood was always the preferred material because it damped vibration so much quicker than metal did. So in older scopes, you'll definitely see a lot of wood being used.
yeah, and this one's got even a polar scope with the backlit with a little LED. So yeah, I mean the setup, it's really easy, really enjoyable.
Yeah, yeah, very charming.
Mhm.
Hey Gary, how's your observatory coming?
Well, I'll be mounting the solar panels pretty soon. I've bought all the hardware and I've got all the panels. And just to tell you how you have to shop around, I bought 3 panels that somebody else was trying to sell me for $500 for $107 a piece. So you got to
Oh,
shop around for these things.
how did you get such a good deal?
Oh, and I have friends in high places. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
And so I should have the panels going. I should have power in the observatory in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then the action starts. And I think I found out a way to mount the broken mirror inside the telescope until I get a new mirror. That's if
Oh,
the insurance company pays for it. If
right,
not,
right.
then I have a beautiful telescope with a broken mirror, but I think I can still get an image out of it.
Well, think of all the stories you can tell with that mirror now, though, right?
Though I don't want to tell those stories. I don't want to.
So, Gary, tell me, you're going to solar panels, but you're using some kind of storage system for it, right?
Yeah, just
Battery
just battery
storage
system,
system?
just like a regular battery system. And the reason I
Okay.
went that way is I could have run a 300-foot extension cord from the place where I have it, but I'm trying, eventually 10 years from now, I hope to sell it. And if you can sell an observatory that's completely self-sufficient, a lot of more people are going to want that as opposed to one they have to plug in someplace. So I was just thinking of future saleability.
Resale value, right?
That's right, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And I've gotten over breaking my mirror, but I do think I do have
No, you
about,
you you don't look as sad as you did. So
but
yeah.
I have a lot more bad luck than I used to have, let me tell you. A mirror that big has more than 7 years bad luck. I think it's more like 49 years bad luck.
Oh, it's inflation, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So Ken, how are things down south? I don't know if Ken is still there.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
still
there.
here.
Yeah.
Cloudy.
Cloudy.
It's still cloudy.
Oh my God. I thought they were never I thought they never had cloud.
No, well, they're supposed to have 240 clear nights a year, but I don't think this time of year.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So still in standby. We're going to get some nice weather next week here, it looks like.
Yeah. Do your temperatures really rise where your site is?
Um,
Is heat a problem or?
in what respect? Like for
Well, I'm
weather-wise?
just thinking. Well, I guess you don't really care about heat, I guess, because I mean, you've basically. Well, actually, they're not open tubes, are they? Uh,
Yeah, well, I try and leave everything off during the daytime, of course, just because of it gets quite warm down there.
yeah.
And the ASI air has its maximum temperature too, right?
Hmm.
And we're close enough to that anyway, so
Yeah,
Ken,
I'm just wondering if you could potentially have problems just because of where it is. Lauri, did you have a question?
No,
Oh, somebody was,
Marjie.
oh,
Where
Marjie, sorry.
Where are you?
I'm over here.
Lower part of the screen, I think.
David mentioned about down south. Is he talking about the lower part of the screen?
The lower part of North America.
So where are you?
Close to Rockwood, Texas.
Oh, good.
I've got a telescope down there at a remote
Oh,
site.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, the other popular area is New Mexico, of course, but is Texas cheaper than New Mexico? Again, or?
Well, the ones I found, it was the cheapest. I'm not sure whether what's the one called in New Mexico?
New Mexico Skies, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know whether I checked that one out. But it seems quite reasonable, you know, $200 US a month down there, which seems to be okay.
Wow,
I mean,
that's still kind of expensive.
it is, but it's still cheaper than buying a motorhome and spending a couple months down there.
Not true. That's true.
And the Utah Remote Observatory, I emailed them and they emailed me back and said it would be $800 a month.
800 a month.
Plus $1,000 to set up.
Okay.
And since I had an AM5 mount, it would be another 900 and some odd dollars.
More because it was an AM5?
Yeah, 3 bolts.
Oh my God.
So I don't know where they're coming from there, but I think they're set up for like universities and stuff like that too. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I bet you the majority are like Paramounts and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I think the big benefit, of course, is you're not just set up for 2 months, you're set up for 12 months at a time. So
yeah,
you know, your opportunity for gathering data is just much, much better, even though you're having downtimes here and there.
Oh, absolutely.
You're still coming out ahead,
I'm
right?
looking forward to great things, but I can't believe how bad the journey's gone so far.
Yeah.
But you know, not to be depressing, but like how many clear nights do we have in Victoria a year? Does anybody know?
I keep on saying 25, but I think there's a couple more than that.
Well, it's a bit more than that, but maybe not much more.
27. Every night from last year it was pretty much every night from about July through August. There might have been one day that we had rain. I can look back at my photographic records and tell you when we had rain. Just unless we did, I was out there shooting.
Huh.
Gemini
So probably no
says-
more than 2 months a year then.
Gemini says 30 to 40 nights per year.
Is that it?
Wow.
Wow.
That's depressing.
Well, Ken, I think you have a bargain.
Well, no, I hope it pays out in the long run. If not, it's been interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Natasha says she's gonna get 70 to 80. So
I don't know. What does that mean?
no, 80 nights for not per week, per year.
For a year. Okay.
Visual, not photography.
Right. Oh, that's true.
Okay.
Peter,
the
Peter,
standard's a little bit lower.
Peter, how is it down in like when you go to Arizona?
Well, of course, we're not down there primarily for observing, so we're not sort of getting up every day looking at the sky, you know, intending to observe or not that night. But I mean, this year we were there for what, 22 nights, and it was clear 21 of them. So it's pretty good down in that part.
Yeah.
But isn't that's right where Garry was for the longest time, isn't it? So
that's right.
He probably has actual statistics.
Yeah, they say here Tucson, Arizona, near where I was, has 220 to 300 clear nights annually. But what they don't tell you, they also have hurricane force winds. And what they also don't tell you is they have crummy seeing. So, you know, big deal.
Yeah, yeah.
And we had fires. We
And they
had
had
fires.
fires,
Yeah.
yes. Big fires.
Big
Yeah.
fires. There you
Well,
go.
they saw them. They arrived at my house, and the whole neighborhood was burning. It was quite spectacular.
We were okay. We were
Yeah,
okay.
we were okay, yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you are.
Well,
Yeah.
there's not one perfect environment, I can tell you that. I mean, I think you have better chances of being a good visual observer than you do an imager, actually, probably. I mean,
Ken?
we put up, I mean, visual people put up with a lot of stuff, right?
Well,
Borderline is still okay.
it also depends on how fussy you are.
That's what I mean. You don't tend to be as fussy when you're visual. At least I'm not, anyways.
Ken?
Nice to make all these decisions from my desk at home. Nice warm den.
Right.
Yeah, Ken,
Oh, I have a request here too.
Ken,
Sorry, go ahead.
Ken, my brain clicked in. You are here. You're in Victoria, but
Yeah,
your
I'm in
telescope
Victoria. My telescope's in
is in
Texas.
Texas, right?
Yeah, he's not as remote as you thought, Marjie.
My philosophy on seeing is some data is better than no data. So I go out, if I can see enough stars, I can line up. I'm out there shooting.
You
So
have your
I'm
telescope at home, do you?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
got to go down to
In the,
California, which is another level.
Yeah, I'm right in the middle of the hillside dark sky park.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Very nice
I actually have a request here, and I sort of remember this. I was talking to Reg a couple of mornings ago, like we're always consulting about whether something's clear enough for an observing session. But anyways, he chose to send me this curious email, and I think it's entitled "Mysterious Visitor." So I'm actually hoping within this audience we can identify this mysterious visitor. Okay, so just a sec here.
Oh, there's a cat.
So that is a view from the all sky camera up at the hill. It appears to be 5 o'clock in the morning.
That's a bird.
I know, but can somebody identify the bird?
It might be a robin.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Any dedicated
Isn't that
birders?
more? Isn't that more swallow?
A what? A swallow?
Swallow.
Oh, I never even thought about that. That's very long tail feathers, isn't it?
Yeah, but the tail feathers would be closer to the camera lens than the body, so it's distorted. It also pooped on the lens, you'll notice.
Is it an American swallow or an African swallow or a European swallow?
I don't think it matters.
So accounting for distortion, what are your guesses of what this is?
A bird.
I mean, no, you have to do better than that. I thought robin, but I don't think it's a robin.
No, robins are way fatter than that. Yeah. Robins defy physics in that they can actually get off the ground. Kind of like chickens.
Yeah, the bird was visible on many frames, but that blob there showed up several days beforehand. So I think that this is smoking gun evidence that the person who disfigured the all-sky camera was that very bird.
They always return to the scene of the crime.
Exactly.
Yeah, no doubt of that. No doubt about that, Reg.
Are we looking at the bird from the underside?
Yes. Yes.
We're looking at the landing gear and under the nod.
Well, Marjie's the birder, so she might know.
Yeah, I was hoping Marjie would tell us definitively.
Look at the tail.
Hey, Marjie, it looks like a towhee tail. Does that make sense to you?
Well, towhees are really small, aren't they? Oh no, they're robin size, aren't they?
Smaller.
Are smaller?
Aren't they a bit smaller than a robin?
Yeah, not much.
Not by much,
Okay.
but they're almost the same size.
David, there was no audio, so we can't use bird songs.
Yeah, you're
You can't
right.
put Merlin on it and kind of have it Merlin tell us what it is.
DNA testing.
There we go.
Yeah, we should ask Mike if he knows what it is.
Okay.
To me, it looks like a submarine with claws.
Well, I don't think it could be that, Natasha. I mean, that'd be hard to get
Looks
a
like
submarine up
one
there.
of those badminton birdies, yeah.
What is the black? What is the
Let's
black
call it
thing?
that's poop.
What's that's
I think so. I think that's kind of obvious. These are trees, obviously.
And I'm hoping that that's not part of a nest that he's starting to build either. That's on the bottom.
Oh yeah. You mean here?
Yeah.
Oh, I never even thought about that.
Mm.
Huh.
The,
Where is this located, Reg? Do you know where the camera is?
that is you can see the DAO dome on the bottom right, and that's a bit further down the hill from that. Probably
Okay.
close to the green building, the new green building, I think.
Oh, that is a dome right there?
Yeah, at night you can see the dome swivel, and these shots are updated every 24 hours. You can at 9 a.m. And there's a kind of a DAO weather site, and this all-sky camera goes for 24 hours. And if I'm up there imaging, I always save it to screen, and then I can go back and see if there's an iCloud that might have interfered with the
Yeah.
taking.
That's a good idea. You have a record of the night then, right?
Yeah.
Huh. There you go.
Why don't you call it a chipping sparrow? It's springtime. They're out early. They're everywhere. They're little, and they have a forked tail like that.
Okay. Okay. Well, lots of good guesses.
I have to release
Only the bird knows for sure, I guess.
also camera.
Yeah, there you go. So,
Actually, I know somebody's trying to get rid of some barn cats. That could solve the problem with them.
so any other plans for dark skies this summer?
I'm probably going to go try Mount Washington as one of the things that's been suggested to me. I don't know how insane that is, but
Mount Washington. Okay.
and then I have a friend of mine that's got a place on Quadra Island that I'm going to go do some imaging from.
Okay. So you're going specifically to do imaging then?
Well, that and we also have a hunting trip we go on every year in Quadra. So, but I'll be dragging a scope up this year, which I usually don't. So, but we every like midsummer we have like a sea hunt where we go and skin dive for rock scallops and anything else we can find. So
nice.
and the rock scallops are huge. Like we actually come up with rock scallops that are so big we literally have scallop burgers. Like you take the meat of the size of a hamburger patty.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like scallop burgers or something like that.
Yeah, it's I definitely gain at least 5 pounds every trip.
Marjie, you have your hand up.
Bird and slightly astronomy related. I just returned from spring migration on Lake Erie. So Point Pelee and Rondo National Park and Long Point, Rondo Provincial Park and Long Point Provincial Park. And one night we were out hoping to see, and we did, a woodcock. And you don't really they do their woodcock thing at dusk, so it's very hard to see the woodcock. But what it does is it flies up into the air. It kind of levitates like a helicopter, and then it does a circle and then it comes back. Well, right after that, of course, I looked up into the sky, and of course we could see Jupiter and Venus. So I said to our guide, that's Jupiter. And wonderful young man that he was, he put the birding scope on
The
Jupiter,
spotting scope.
the spotting scope, and we saw we saw 4 moons, and we showed the people on the trip 4 moons. So they were some of them were very excited to know that that was Jupiter and that there were 4 moons there, and they saw them.
So would we call that sidewalk astronomy? It's not a sidewalk, is it?
It was kind of close by the Woodcock Field astronomy.
Okay.
Keep going, Marjie.
Well, there's all sorts of outreach, you know. I mean, who am I to say, right? No, that's a good story, actually. That's a good story. Well, you know, a lot of scopes, in fact, the Pronto that you see me carrying around all the time has been a favorite amongst birders, actually. That and the Televue 76 are actually considered birding scopes, actually, even though they're used for astronomy. So there's that borderline edge where something is a astronomical instrument or a birding instrument. In fact, I was going to ask you, Marjie, is there a lot of difference between a spotting scope and a telescope? I guess only in terms of the eyepieces, I guess they would be different, right?
Yeah, I think so. I actually don't know, but we could see those 4 moons of Jupiter really clear, really well.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And
how many people were on the trip?
12 with 2 guides.
With 2 guides.
Yeah, we saw 154 species of birds, and that included 19 different kinds of warblers.
Oh. Do birders get badges just like astronomers do?
Birders get lists. I don't have a list, but birders get lists. And then besides lists, they also have life birds. So sometimes people will say at the end of a trip, how many lifers did you get?
Lifers. What's that? What's the definition of that?
Well, they're birds that you've never seen before in your life.
Oh, I see. I see. First time kind of birds that you've seen.
Well, they're on your list and you tick them off. And some people go a little further and keep logs of observations of birds, just like same way we do in astronomy.
I figured it was similar.
Yeah,
a similar kind of thing.
People post on the like I receive the rare bird list for this area every day, and people post unusual birds. We've had an indigo bunting here now for a couple of weeks, which of course should not be here, but there it is. When I saw one, I saw it in Arizona.
So how did they get here?
Well, they get blown off course.
Fly. Yeah.
Yeah, they fly. Fly. But there are specific flyways that birds follow when they're migrating, and they get blown off course, and things happen to them, and suddenly they're in your backyard.
Life happens, right?
Life happens, and they may stay. The bird may, if it can eat, it may stay and then go back south again. But if it can't eat and nest, then it has to try to keep going to work.
Well, it would have to have been accompanied with a mate of some sort, right? I mean, others it wouldn't go on. It wouldn't pass on its genes, right?
No, that doesn't always happen. Sometimes they get separated and they're singles, and it's sad at that point because they won't survive.
No, they won't.
Yeah, they don't fly with a mate necessarily, but and some birds, mate multitudinously, and some birds find the mate when they get to their potential nesting site.
Okay, so last call. Before we end our ultimate Astro Cafe.
Actually, I figured out.
Oh, excellent. Go ahead, Chris.
There's been a security thing added to my to my Mac, which means I
Did you
had to
did you
change a
defeat the security or?
I had to change a setting. So okay.
All right.
If I can make this a little bigger. And I'm just gonna whip through these. This is a photograph of the Starship launch, and sort of the brighter part near my cursor. That's the first stage, and the second stage, that's what something like that is basically what they want to land on the moon. And it's quite big. Like that's if it was sitting in downtown Victoria, the council would go straight up because it would violate the community plan.
So Chris, they would never send people up on ships like this?
Well, that's the plan, is that they will, but they have to get it to work properly, and it's still not there yet. So, and this is another slide which shows the top part of the Starship compared to a shuttle and a couple of like Apollo capsules. And this is a shot from the first stage as it moves back, and you can see the second stage moving on, and actually one of those three large engines around the edge, one of those failed shortly after that picture was taken, and so while that top stage was able to reach its target, it meant that they couldn't run a test, which was important for the success of the mission. And this is how it all ended up. But that was how this is what in the middle of the Indian Ocean, actually not too far from Western Australia. But they knew that this was going to happen. This is part of the
So
mission.
was it, Chris, was the plan for them to land on a ship or something, or?
No.
No?
That was just supposed to land in the water, but they had drones there. They knew where it was going to land.
Okay.
And they had drones which photographed it. So if you go on YouTube and look for some of the videos of it, it's actually there's a lot of amazing footage from this. And actually, there was something else I wanted to show. This is actually the main reason why I wanted to show you these pictures. Is the Psyche spacecraft is heading off to the asteroid Psyche, which is in the main belt, and it's supposed to get there in about 3 years. And a week or two ago, it flew by Mars and got this photograph of the crescent Mars. So
Crescent Mars.
That's right.
Wow.
So that was a neat photo, which I thought would fit in tonight. By the way, I did a little. I didn't spend all my time fighting with security things. So as we were talking about the Parker Solar Probe, and it made its closest passage to the sun, I think Christmas or Boxing Day of 2024, and now it's been kind of put into its final orbit. It's still running, but when the fuel runs out, that's the end of it. Or as Natasha was saying, maybe the budget will do it. But the sort of the main mission for Parker is over now, and anything else is kind of extra gravy. So
I understand they're only just beginning to analyze a lot of the data.
That's right. That's right. So that was my show.
Mm-hmm. So is there a lot of stuff happening over the summer, Chris, with the space program?
Well, I'm sure there will be some things I don't know in great detail. Like as I said, I expect to hear who the crew for Artemis 3 is going to be. Maybe some more information about that and some of NASA's plans. I might know in a couple of weeks actually, because next week I'm supposed to go down to Washington for a symposium on Hubble. So I might
Oh, that's right. I remember when you told me that. I was thinking Washington State, but you meant Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C., right in the belly of the beast. So so I'm not going to go to the UFC fight on the White House lawn. I think I'm home before that happens.
Yes.
Be careful.
Yeah, stay
That's
away
right.
from the lawn.
That's right. I will stay away from there. But yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. There's so many things going on when you throw in some of the other countries involved in space. But I can't think. I mean, there's supposed to be some more robotic spacecraft launched to the moon before too long, but I'm not sure exactly when those flights are supposed to go. And we'll see. I think we will be seeing some more action from China too, and they might be sending a robot to the moon. But
What about the Japanese, Chris? What is JAXA doing? Are they doing anything in particular, or?
yeah, they they do various things. They've had a bit of bad luck with their rockets in the past few years, but they keep going, and but they are kind of operating mainly in Earth orbit, I think. They have in the past sent planetary probes, but including one that Canada was involved in that went to Mars, I think. Um, yeah, I haven't heard much from them lately.
Actually, we can add something about that.
Yeah, go ahead, Phil. You probably know some of this stuff better than me.
Yeah, so Japan is launching the Mars Moon Explorer, which will collect samples from Phobos and return them to Earth.
Oh.
That'll be launched later this year. So they do have something planned. And China does have a lander going to the moon, which will launch, I think, about August. So it will be doing its thing during the fall, and we'll look at that at the time.
So I guess when we get back together in September, we'll learn a little bit about what those things were doing.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that may be it for tonight. We get off early for good behavior, I guess, or bad behavior, one or the
I
other.
think it's bad behavior.
Bad behavior. Okay. Okay. Well, I wish everybody a great summer. I hope to see many of you out at the pop-ups or up at the VCO or at the star parties, and I wish you all clear skies and dark skies too. Anyways, good night.
No moon.
Good night.
Hi.